Moto2 at the Dutch TT, 22 laps ahead of us in searing sunshine. Lights go out and we are underway. It's a fantastic start for Alonso Lopez. A good one for Ogura on the inside too, powering down towards turn one. He's passed Dixon already. Chandra on the inside of Lowe's has made a good start too. And then you can see Fermin Aldeguer coming in behind Pedro Acosta, it looks like. So at the front, Lopez leads from Ogura in second. Now Dixon dropped to third, Aldeguer in fourth. Then it's Acosta. And Chandra is just trying to go through on the inside of Albert Arenas. Looks like Sam Lowe's might have got shuffled back. Another position there.
Alonso Lopez already making the run, and it looks like the Bosco gives him a little bit more feeling straight away with the tyres. Jake did bog down a little bit off the line, but done well to only lose one position. Ogura needs to not let Alonso Lopez get away though.
Ooh, Tony Arbolino's looking to be aggressive, as was Albert Arenas, who's gone off like a rocket here. Arenas started down in 8th place, but already up into 6th briefly. In fact, it's him and not Acosta who's the highest up of the Aya riders. It's Acosta who has dropped like a stone from the off here, and actually under pressure from Chandra and Aaron Canet. Still Lopez leads from Ogura, with Arenas now up into, well, no, he's been dropped back by Aldeguer, back to 5th place. Acosta gets through on Canet for 7th. Right, they need to start worrying here, Ogura and Dixon, because Pedro Acosta is right on their tails as Aldeguer passes Albert Arenas. Unfortunately, he'll be coming up on his dashboard. He's got to take the long lap loop, so trying to make up as many positions as he can. He has been the fastest rider on track, matching Acosta's times recently, Aldeguer, so you've got to feel for him. He was the one, outside of Ogura and Dixon, that I really felt had the pace to run up from.
Yeah, good to see. It's not been an easy season for him to this point. He's been fast at times and turned up at Assen here. It looked like in free practice 1 that the Bosco chassis was working, and Aldeguer, he's putting it to good effect around the TT circuit right now.
You'd expect that Dixon is being told as well by his team that it's Acosta that's closing in, and I wonder if that will just push him into trying that move that we saw might have been a possibility on previous laps, because you feel like once Acosta gets in the mix, no one's going to be able to break away at all.
No, it changes the dynamic when you know Pedro Acosta. He's always able to use his strategy correctly, although he's had to work hard to get across, so maybe it's been a little bit harder on the tyre at this stage than he'd want. But I do think Jake's got more when you look at his lap times right now. 37.3 last time around, and we've seen him knocking out 36s for fun yesterday. So, yeah, I think there's a bit more left in the tank right now.
Got very close, cross the line on this occasion, and Dixon does finally make the move down into the hard box, and he goes through up into 2nd place. Can he hang on? Yes, he does in turn 2. So just using a little bit of tyre there to make sure that he's stuck ahead of Ogura and Dixon up into 2nd place. And I think more than anything, that's just because the pressure was starting to come from behind. Lopez, Dixon, Ogura and Acosta, nothing to choose between them at the moment, but you do feel like the pace could be that ever so slightly hotter. Yes, you can see them spinning up left, right and centre, but you know, they had a similar track temperature on Friday. Here comes Dixon again. Is he going to find a way through on Lopez on this occasion? Up towards the chicane, they bunch up in there, don't they?
Really, they do. I think Jake could maybe set up a pass into there, but you can see he's sort of trying to check it up here to really get the drive. I think this might be enough to...
Yeah, it looked like it. Look how deep that Lopez was going. And Dixon was strong through there throughout the weekend. Oh, and Lopez still hangs on out front. Excellent from Lopez.
Yeah, Lopez done really well there. He was deep at the right-hander on the direction change. He really managed to punch forward with his Bosco chassis, but it does look like Jake wants through right now. So you can see he's setting it up out wide, pulling it back, trying to look for... Oh, look at that from Acosta.
Acosta just, I thought he was running around the outside of him, yeah. But no, Ogura has the inside line into the Struben. But they're all trying to find a way through. Clearly feels like he's got so much more pace than Lopez. Lopez will try and squeeze him on the inside of the racetrack there. And Dixon has to again abort. He's got to find a way through here, Michael. Where's it going to be?
I think maybe into the Ramsuk. It looks like he's got the pace on the run-through moving mirror. He's got the rear grip. You could see he got the drive out of the Struben. I think maybe Alonso messed up his acceleration. That's why he drifted to the right, knowing he was going to be attacked by Jake. So he done well to protect his line, but it just did impede Jake ever so slightly on the run up the back straight.
And all fair, of course, that he should defend his position from out front. And Ogura sort of semi-defending from Acosta, but also while Dixon's trying to go all over the racetrack, to get through on Lopez. He's trying to find a way back through, but here comes Dixon, and that one's nailed this time, is it? Down into the hard box. Is he going to run a little bit wide? Alonso Lopez, we know, is very aggressive and willing to fight back straight away, but Dixon hits the front of the Dutch TT past the halfway point, and he has taken over from Lopez.
The previous lap was a dress rehearsal. Jake got all that done on the exit from the chicane. You could see he was drawn level. I thought that was going to be contact. It gets close in there. But yeah, Jake had drawn level by the time he crossed the line, and then knew exactly what he needed to do on the brakes, and he's already putting the hammer down. And
this is where we saw on the last lap the drive that Dixon's getting with that rear tyre. Lopez just cannot match it. Ogura, this is where we felt he's been strong. Wow, that's an aggressive move from Ogura, so late on the brakes down into the chicane. But having seen Dixon go past, Ogura wants to go with him, and he's going to try and track Dixon as much as he can, and Acosta also goes through. So within the space of a lap, Lopez has gone from leading this race comfortably to being in fourth, but you never felt his pace was quite there.
No, I think he didn't quite have the pace that these three have, so Jake getting through made I respond. It was a close move, it was aggressive into the final Gert Timmer chicane, but he's actually Alonso Lopez done really well to still pull it back and stay on the track without using the shortcut. Oh, Jake's got it wrong there.
He's gone so wide, and that's what can happen. So he makes the mistake in the scrub and tries to hang on the outside of Pedro Acosta, and it's what we've talked about already for Acosta in this race. Have to get that gear change down to first right.
Yeah, unfortunately, when you're pushing harder, you sometimes aren't as positive on the back shift, and it hasn't quite engaged first gear, so he's ended up in the neutral that is in between those two gears, and he done well. He just kept it upright and clicked it back into first, and it almost had the run. You can see here, look, he doesn't want to turn it in. He's trying to get it back into first gear. Gives up those two spots and tries to fight off Pedro Acosta on the run up the back straight.
Towards the chicane. This is the view. Oh, Acosta lost the front in there, and I think it really upset Dixon as well, didn't it?
It did. What a shot from the onboard camera of Jake Dixon. You've seen Pedro leaning on the front tyre. We knew the front would start to play into this race, and the front, he just almost let go. Cat-like reactions though from Pedro Acosta to save it.
And Aaron Canet now starting to come through as he battles with Alonso Lopez. Lopez straight back at Canet, but you were absolutely right there. The front, as we know, was one of the areas. Oh my goodness me, that is an incredible save from Acosta.
Yeah.
And he's just keeping tabs on Ogura here now.
Yeah.
He's going to try down towards turn one. Look at the drive he's getting out of the chicane on this occasion. Is it going to be enough to get alongside the Japanese rider? It does for Dixon. He's going to hit the front for the second time in the race. Oh, and he's touched the front wheel of Ogura. Oh, Jake Dixon, he sort of had a second go at the corner, didn't he? But through he goes. Ogura was brave to hang on, but Jake Dixon takes the lead with just under 2 laps remaining.
Yeah, that gives Jake a bit of a gap. That was oh so close on the brakes into turn one. Jake drifted out onto the racing line. He wasn't past enough. Obviously, I wanted that bit of track, and there was almost contact. So look at this. Jake levels him, wants to get back across to the left side to set up the. Oh, that was contact rear wheel to front.
Yeah, Ogura did well to avoid that one. Meanwhile, Jake Dixon up front. Last lap time for the Brit. Can he do it? Oh, Jake Dixon leading with 2.8 miles to go. His dad did a couple of 500cc races, was a world sidecar champion, but I think Jake, if he could go back as a Moto2 Grand Prix winner, would make the family proud. He is leading. He's coming out of the Strubben about now, and Aldeguer attacks on Acosta. Aldeguer up into third place now. So youngster on youngster, searching for a first ever podium for Mean Aldeguer, and Acosta fighting back down towards the Ruskin hook.
Yeah, this one's going to run to the last corner, so Firmin won't know that Pedro may have a penalty.
Well, we've been told Pedro Acosta's long lap was completed. I don't understand. Fabio Quartararo is going to be looking at the screen going, you what?
Yeah, exactly. But looking at the front of this race, Jake Dixon's got enough. I know Ogura's strong in the last sector. He took 2/10 back last time around. But Jake will have had the signal on his board, knowing that he's got a 1 second advantage. So he's just got a few more corners to execute.
Oh, it's his 74th Grand Prix start. He's been plugging at it now, hasn't he? Ever since he moved over from the British Superbike Championship. his last victory coming back at Alton Park on a Kawasaki in 2018 as Pedro Acosta battles Aldeguer for third place. This is a battle for the podium. Once they attack down into the chicane, I can tell you that Jake Dixon is through it, and Jake Dixon is going to win his first ever Grand Prix. We're not going to see it across the line because it's tight for third place. Acosta snuck third, Ogura was second, but Jake Dixon finally is a Grand Prix winner in Moto2, and what a time to do it with so much talk about the future of MotoGP.
Oh, I'm so happy for Jake Dixon. There will be tears under the helmet, the visor's up. This means the world to him. He knows the pressure was on this weekend. He knows he's, oh, look at the struts of him.
The Paul McGregor.
Conor McGregor. I love it.
Well, do you know what? It's been on the cards, hasn't it? 9 third-place finishes up till now. Jorge Martinez Aspar, 4 times a world champion himself. He's delighted for Dixon. They put their faith in him. They let Albert Arenas, their Moto3 world champion, go because they believed more in Jake Dixon. But he's done it. He's finally gone and done it. He's repaid that faith, and he will fly the Union flag around the TT circuit in Assen. So many British fans in the crowd will be loving it. I'm sure you are too. We will come back with all the analysis and reaction to Jake Dixon's first ever Grand Prix victory here in the Dutch TT.